Yeah, obviously ownership had felt it was a good idea to cancel practice, and well, everyone else involved did as well. But we got everybody to the rink on Tuesday just to kind of get together as a team and just kind of discuss what had happened and what were the steps. Just guys were unsure whether to pop by or call or whatever the case may be, and how to maybe even cope with the situation that was going on. So we just talked it out and just kind of everyone assured that we needed to stick together, and everyone was there for each other to confide if needed, and that we really needed to be there and support dudes wherever it was needed. Yeah, it was great to see. It's dudes has been here for up about 15 years now, and he's a big part of the community. And Kelly was a local girl, and there's a lot of people that knew those two on a day-to-day basis, and had a lot of respect for him. And Dudes has done so much for this franchise and this organization, and for the town as well. So yeah, it was good to see people come in and show their respects and really come together in a tragic moment. Oh, it was a bit tough. I think it's just guys kind of find themselves. I don't know if anybody could say they'd been through something like that before, where something so tragic's happened to a teammate and having to play 3-4 days later. And yeah, it was tough to motivate the guys, because your usual talks and stuff, you got to kind of keep what's happened in mind. You can't just kind of block it out. It's something so tragic that you can't ignore it. And we just tried to stick together and try to play for Dudes and try to get a result for them. And I think at the end of the day, it was kind of you can only say so much as a coach in that situation. But I think it was up to each individual to kind of bring it themselves and motivate themselves. And sure enough, guys did, and we had played fantastic in Nottingham and just came up a bit short. But it was a great effort by everybody. We got. I'm not a guy that usually sit here and blame. Either win or lose, and a lot of the time it's either, you win as a team and you lose as a team. But we played about as good as we could, considering, and having Dudes out of the lineup, having Tim Maxwell out of the lineup, and then losing Seaman in the first period to an injury. To go up 2-0 and then lead 3-1 after two was an amazing accomplishment. And we kept it going. We played well, and Nottingham stepped it up in the third. They came at us, and I think guys were a little fatigued. We had guys playing a lot of minutes that aren't used to it, and the guys that are used to it had to play even more minutes. And there were times guys weren't coming off the ice for 4 or 5 minutes. So, but we hung on. They pressured us in the third, and we hung on. And unfortunately, a bit of a weak call. And like I said, I don't like to blame it on certain circumstances like that, and especially the ref. They have the toughest job in hockey, and more times than not, things happen quickly and fast. But I just felt that in that situation, that to call a penalty shot would have to be 100% sure that it was deliberate. Obviously, being in the final 2 minutes, and obviously it's clear on the video that it wasn't deliberate. I mean, you can even see Tommy trying to pull the net back on, and it was unfortunate. And to be honest, it was one of those moments after the game that you come in and I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. It was a tough one to swallow for sure. We we got down 4-0. We didn't show up till a couple minutes left in the first, and after they went up 4-0, we called a timeout and just tried to get the guys refocused. And whether that made a difference, I'm not sure, but we got one at the end of the period there. It gave us a little bit of life. And then we had a little bit of a bashing in the first, after the first intermission in the dressing room, and got on the guys to get going. And it was a huge game for us. We really needed 2 points there. And I came out in the second. We played a lot better, played a great period. Unfortunately, we gave up another goal right at the end of the period, which kind of was tough to take because going into the third 5-4 would have been a big difference, and instead we were going 2 goals down, and then start of the third we gave up another, and we were really sloppy defensively all night. We gave up a lot of odd man breaks, a couple shorthanded breakaways, and we just weren't sharp. We were throwing pucks blind on the rush, and especially when we had guys jumping in the play and they were turning back and hitting us on the transition. And it was, but you know what? The guys showed a great amount of character. We could easily have packed it in at 4-0, and guys battled all night, and we kept coming back. But obviously at the end we just fell a bit short. We had great support on the weekend from both clubs, actually, Nottingham and Hull. Obviously Nottingham, and good gesture at the start of the game. They preferred the minute applause rather than the minute silence, and they paid their respects in that sense. And they came by and shook everybody's hand and went by the bench, which was a good classy gesture. And then raising $4,000. I mean, that's fantastic support. And then Hull as well. They had a moment of silence, and they did their best to raise some funds, and I think they raised close to about £700 and a little extra maybe as well. So it's just fantastic support, and it just shows how tight knit the hockey community is. It's big for us. Obviously, home match against Dundee is always huge. We've only had them once at home in a league game this season, and we've built up a bit of a rivalry with them. And then they're the team ahead of us in the standings, and you always want to get up those standings. It doesn't matter what point in the season it is. So it'll be an emotional night. It's going to be our first home game since everything happened, and but the guys got to be ready to go. We're going to be a bit short benched again. Dan Stephen honestly will be out, and most likely Tim Maxwell will be out as well, and Willie Nicholson's still out as well. So obviously Dudes being out, we're going to be quite short. So it's just it gives guys opportunities to kind of step up and play more minutes and try to take on a bigger role. In Nottingham we had 2 guys get their first goals of the year, and Josh Schoon and Jamie Wilson. So that was great to see, and hopefully we can get more of that contribution from everybody. And it's going to be an emotional night. It's going to be a big night, but hopefully this place is packed with people showing their respects and their support, and then we'll go down to Coventry and try to scrape one out there as well.